Hi, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
No, we're Untitled Nerd Network. This is the mid-season finale of season 10 of The Walking Dead,
Yep.
which is kind of the mid-season finale because there's like three parts to this season,
Right.
and then there's going to be like a massive 26 episode 11th season. So that's gonna be
It's
it.
exciting.
Yeah,
It's exciting to see where this all wraps up.
yeah, and it's I'm interested to see how they wrap it up
Mm-hmm.
because in the comic book, the last issue of the comic was like a flash forward to like 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years later, and everybody has kind of settled into what life is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And but with the Rick Grimes movies coming out and all these other like spin-offs of The Walking Dead and all that stuff, it kind of makes me like I don't think they're going to end this series that way because, you don't want to give everything away all at the very end,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm dying to know when those Rick Grimes movies are going to come out because that's, I mean, like here's the thing, Rick. I would say Rick is The Walking Dead, but it's more like Rick was The Walking Dead because
Mm-hmm.
they have done such a good job of filling the hole left
Yeah.
since he's
They
gone.
really have.
Most of these episodes are better than a lot of the ones when he was around.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like everybody else kind of picked up the slack.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And since they had to pick up the slack, there's been more character development.
yeah, because they're
Mm.
giving time to everybody.
They
And,
really are.
like, you don't really have a main character anymore. Like,
You have main characters
yeah, like
and main
Daryl.
story arcs.
Yeah, Daryl and Carol are both kind of the main people for the most part, but they haven't they average about maybe 5 minutes of screen time per
they're
episode.
they're the main people in the aspect of that's who's left from like when it originally started,
Yeah,
but not as far as like main storyline goes. But it's I feel like they devote equal time to each storyline, so nothing really overshadows because even though there's all the communities are working towards keeping the whispers at bay or getting rid of the whispers, one or the other. They all
they
share the same art.
they haven't really shown Oceanside a whole lot this season.
Mm-mm.
This is I think maybe the second or third time that we've seen them this season. This episode they
Well, they don't have a lot going on if you think
no,
about it. I mean, they're right on the side. They're literally on the side of the ocean. I mean,
this is it's gonna be interesting because they've they're all at Oceanside and they discover a guy named Virgil who
mm-hmm.
was trying to get a boat from Oceanside. They capture him, but he had rescued. Crap, what's his name?
The uncle from the Goldbergs.
Yeah,
He's the music guy. He was like a music professor or
yeah.
some shit.
I'm
You know,
trying to.
I don't remember his name offhand either.
I'm looking him up regardless,
Yeah,
but
they were in the library because he talked Judith, and then him and Judith talked Michonne and stopping at this library and getting books. Because, Judith likes to read apparently. She said she's read almost all the books in Alexandria.
huh, interesting little kind of fact about this episode. This episode aired on my birthday in 2019.
How about that?
Yep.
That is pretty interesting.
The guy's name isn't. Oh, hold on.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm trying
and
to.
so they were in the library, and the Virgil guy saved him because some walkers, of course, showed up out of nowhere as soon as he put his weapon down, trying to eat him. There's one behind him, one in front of him. He killed the one behind him, saved his life. he was like, "Oh, hey, what's your name?" They didn't find him until they went to Oceanside. He's trying to steal a boat because apparently he lives on an island. Apparently he lives on a naval base.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I was like,
They
hell yeah. Yeah, it never occurred to me. Hit up a naval base. You
the
know?
the guy's name is Luke.
Okay.
Um, and that's because they don't use, believe it or not, they don't use names a whole lot in the show.
No.
You kind of have to really pay attention and grasp that info.
Right. Because they're so close. They're so tight as a unit. There's no need to say their name all the time.
There is. Now here's the main thing. I actually forgot until I went back, but Sadiq got killed at the beginning of this. It was it started at the end of last episode. That was the big cliffhanger. Could we find out he was dead?
Okay. Well, he's the only one that thought he wasn't dead.
I was thinking there might have been a good out for that.
No, there wasn't.
But in the beginning of this episode, before the credits even roll,
that's the first thing they show is him. Well, they give background to Dante of Alpha, telling him what he needs to do.
Yeah, go in, get in good.
You did great at the barn, but you need to infiltrate yourself. You need to do this, and he did. It showed him, bending the water filter to make it look like it was being filtered. He killed that woman just to fuck with Sadiq. He killed the old lady.
Yeah. Smothered her with a pillow.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, she was kind of on her way out anyway.
She was, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, that's
but
still messed up.
He really just did that to fuck with him.
So Rosita ends up killing the zombie Sadiq.
Yes. Well, because, she walked in right after he'd killed Sadiq. And she knew something was up. He knew that. So she puts the baby in the bathtub. And they start fighting. She injures him. She stabs him, right here.
Yeah.
And then she has to kill Sadiq because... And he knew what was happening. He knew because he sat there and told her, well, it's okay. Sometimes parents eat their young in nature. That was what he said. All the things you could have said, that's what she said. So then, she had to kill zombie Sadiq.
But
fucked with her.
Probably the big part was they put Dante in jail, and freaking Gabriel goes in there and kills him, stabs him to death.
Because Gabriel, bless him, because here's the thing, I made jokes about Rosita being poly and them all dating and yada yada yada. But Gabriel knew they had something going on. He knew they had a connection between him, and I'm sure he felt awful about that.
Yeah.
And to see Rosita distraught like she was, he didn't know how to deal with it. And he was like, we need to figure out what to do with him. We need to figure out why Lydia didn't know him. This, that, and this. He had a lot on him, and he just fuck it. He killed him because he made things worse. It didn't help that Dante was being cocky the entire time he was talking to him. Because he was like, I've done my job. Y'all don't know what y'all going to do with me. You're going to spare me because that's what's right. He was mocking them.
Yeah.
And
I probably wasn't expecting Gabriel to do that.
No, he probably wasn't. Gabriel's just like, fuck you. Killed him. She probably went smart on Gabriel's part, but I think that's nothing compared to what went down after that. So that's not going to matter regardless.
So
I don't think that makes a hill of beans.
So we see, Virgil tells Michonne about all the stuff, and she leaves with him.
Yeah, she goes to take him back to the island so she can get the weapons off the naval base.
And they I keep forgetting because they didn't do it with as anywhere near the amount of fanfare that they did when Rick left.
Mm-hmm.
But the lady who plays Michonne, this is like her last season. So I don't know where she's going to end up or if she's going to die or what.
Right.
But I never heard any, like as we're talking, they're like 2, maybe 3 episodes into the last 7 or however many there are of season 10.
Mm-hmm.
And, this, the core part of, or the core episodes of season 10 have already wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's that's the silver lining of people, not as many people giving a crap about The Walking Dead anymore. Is because,
You don't have to worry about spoilers.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I know she leaves by the end of the season, and I'm wondering if maybe she just doesn't come back or something. That's messed up, though.
That'd be fucked up, though. I hope that's not the way they do that.
Yeah, can you imagine like what would have to happen for her to like leave Judith and her son?
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah.
She has to end up getting killed or something. Or at least talking to them and being like, I have to go.
Yeah.
There's no way that's how that ends. But
Weird.
anyway, so like, Gamma meets with Aaron again. And after everything's said and done, after she sees Lydia. And she's like, hey, what happened to the baby? That was my nephew. I want to see him. I have information for you. And basically, she's like, I'll tell you where the herd is if I can see him. Aaron don't make any promises. But he's like, take your mask off. And tell me where they are. And she did. And so they gather up. It's him and Daryl and Carol and what's his name? Ezekiel's right hand man.
Oh, I have to look.
The deaf girl. Both the deaf girls.
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, that's his name. They all meet up and they go looking for the herd.
And of course,
The herd wasn't there.
Carol is doing her own thing, and she looks off in the distance and sees Alpha standing there.
Because, she was watching them when they went to look for the herd.
Yeah.
And now, to be fair, I think Gamma gave him correct information, and she didn't know that the herd had been moved.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't move far.
No, they were not moved far. They were in a fucking cave. And they fell through, and now they're all surrounded by the herd.
Yeah, that's the way the episode ends. The mid-season finale ends with all of them stuck in a cave with the biggest zombie horde you have ever seen on the show.
Right. So Judith and them are getting back and be like, well, where's everybody at? Because Michonne's not coming back with them, so they're really going to be at a loss. Bless you, Logan. He's about to sneeze. He almost sneezed again.
He had his like eyes were squinted and his mouth was open.
Just like me and you do.
And he was like, oh, here he comes. He wants to hang out.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Logan makes a rare appearance on a Walking Dead review.
He said, fuck y'all.
Very briefly.
What?
He went over there and laid down on that cool floor.
He did. He thought, maybe I'll quit sneezing if I move. Because that's all he's done is sneeze since he got up there.
Well, he just laid down on the floor. Okay, well, anyway.
Anyway.
So that's how it ends. So what do you give this episode?
I'm going to give it a 10. I don't think it was quite 11 material, but it was a 10. They did find the herd. They met somebody new. Gabriel he went ham, man. He went ham on that dude. The jail cell. That was probably the most surprising thing about that whole episode. Yeah. I did not expect Gabriel to do that. And I thought when he went to talk to this dude by himself, he was just being, old Pastor Gabriel trying to talk to him and
like
stuff.
Always.
And he was like, I've never been brave. And then stab. Like, he really stabbed. Like, he didn't more than kill him. He pulled a llama with hats. He stabbed him 32 times in the chest.
I got.
Like,
I have to give. I was really torn, but I think I'm gonna just dive in and give this an 11,
okay.
and that's because of just the number of things that happened.
There
the
was
fact
quite a bit of things that happened.
we
It didn't
finally
have
found the
11
horde.
pizzazz for me.
Well, they finally found the horde. Sadiq was killed for sure. Seeing Judith in action.
Yes, to say,
She's actually the one who caught Virgil.
In action, she kept Virgil from escaping. I love how Judith has developed.
Oh yeah, she's come a long way since season 3.
She's such an adult in a child's body. I love it. She's very intelligent.
Just a number of things that happened. It's just so much happened, and there was about a 5-minute slow spot right smack dab in the middle of the episode, but it wasn't enough to drag it down any. That was why I was kind of iffy. I almost gave it a 10. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna let that one little dull part wreck a whole otherwise fantastic episode.
Right. Hell, they discovered a naval base full of freaking weapons. Like,
we hope.
Yeah, hopefully it's not already been raided. I don't think that dude would have been like, hey, we got weapons, if there weren't any.
So, who knows what's...
That's true.
You can't trust anybody at this point.
I don't know. I'm an over-trusting person, so... You know.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. We'll be back for the mid-season premiere, episode 9.
Someday.
Technically, according to the way we schedule these things, tomorrow night. Yeah. So
anyway.
I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
We're Untitled Nerd Network. This has been episode 8 of The Walking Dead, season 10, The World Before.